These horror movies were so disturbing, they vanished from theaters. In 1982, a horror film was banned in 4 countries. In 1983, a director's masterpiece was butchered and buried. And tonight, I'm showing you all 7 movies that Hollywood wants you to forget. Some were too violent, some were too twisted. One of them inspired every horror film you love today. But first, where are you watching from? Drop your location in the comments right now. And if you've seen any of these films, you're about to earn some serious horror cred. Let's start with the one that started it all. Number 1, Alone in the Dark from 1982. This is the first home invasion horror film ever made, and it stars Jack Palance and Martin Landau as escaped mental patients who terrorize Donald Pleasant's family during a citywide blackout. Now, what makes this absolutely brilliant is the dark humor mixed with genuine terror. These aren't your typical mindless slashers. They're calculated, they're intelligent, and they're hunting this family like it's a game. Jack Palance's performance here, legitimately unsettling. He's charming 1 second, then absolutely psychotic the next. It's masterful acting that nobody talks about. And this blackout sequence, where the family realizes the power's out and the killers are inside, still gives me chills. The tension is suffocating. But here's the Easter egg that blew my mind. This shot right here directly inspired the opening of Halloween 4. 6 years later, Michael Myers' escape from the asylum, completely stolen from this movie, frame for frame. So why did this masterpiece disappear? New Line Cinema buried it. They literally let this rot in their vaults for 30 years because they wanted to push their Nightmare on Elm Street franchise instead. They chose Freddy over this. Criminal. The practical effects still hold up today. The psychological horror is timeless, and if you love slow burn terror with pitch black comedy, this is your movie. You can find it on Tubi right now. Watch it with the lights off. But that's just number 1. Coming up next, a movie so cursed the director refuses to talk about it. And the studio, they destroyed the original footage. You won't believe what they cut. Number 2. The Keep from 1983. This is director Michael Mann's forgotten Gothic nightmare about Nazi soldiers who accidentally unleash an ancient demon from a Romanian fortress. This movie is weird, and I mean that in the best possible way. It's directed by Michael Mann, yes, the guy who made Heat and Collateral, and it's unlike anything he's ever done. Gothic horror meets World War II, Nazi versus ancient evil. The creature design here is absolutely nightmarish. This thing influenced Clive Barker's Cenobites and Hellraiser 4 years later. Look at those eyes. Look at that smoke effect. And the Tangerine Dream soundtrack, pure 80s synth perfection. It shouldn't work with a period horror film, but it creates this dreamlike, otherworldly atmosphere that's impossible to shake. Now, here's the tragedy. Michael Mann's original cut was 210 minutes. The studio hacked it down 96 minutes and destroyed the footage. What we have today is a beautiful, broken mess. Scenes don't connect. Characters disappear. The ending makes 0 sense. But somehow, it's still mesmerizing. It's like watching a fever dream you can't quite remember. So, why did this vanish? The studios butchered it. The critics destroyed it, and Michael Mann himself refuses to talk about it. He's disowned this film completely. But cult horror fans, we know this is a flawed masterpiece. The atmosphere alone makes it worth watching. And if you're in a gothic horror with experimental visuals, you need to see this. It's streaming on Paramount Plus. Fair warning, you'll either love it or hate it. There's no in between. Alright, we've covered a buried masterpiece and a cursed production. But number 3, this one was banned. 4 countries refused to show it. And when you see what happens in the 3rd act, you'll understand why. Number 3, Night Warning from 1981, also known as Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. This psychological thriller about an obsessive aunt was banned in multiple countries for its taboo themes and disturbing violence. This movie is unhinged. Susan Terrell plays Aunt Cheryl, who's been raising her nephew Billy since his parents died in a suspicious car accident. And when Billy starts dating a girl and planning to leave for college, Cheryl completely loses it. The violence here isn't your typical slasher gore. It's intimate. It's psychological. It's a woman so obsessed with keeping her nephew that she'll murder anyone who threatens their relationship. Terrell's performance is absolutely terrifying. She's manipulative, she's violent, and she's completely convinced she's the victim. This is the role that inspired Kathy Bates in Misery 9 years later. But here's what makes this truly disturbing. The movie tackles incestuous obsession, homophobia, and police corruption in 1981. It went places that mainstream horror wouldn't touch for another decade. So, why was it banned? The UK classified it as a video nasty during their moral panic in the 80s. Australia banned it outright. Even in the US, it barely got a theatrical release. The themes were too dark. The violence was too personal. And Susan Terrell's performance was so disturbing that audiences didn't know how to process it. But if you want to see horror that is genuinely uncomfortable, not just scary, but uncomfortable, this is essential viewing. It's on Shudder and Tubi. Proceed with caution. So we've gone from home invasion to Nazi demons to psychological obsession. But what if I told you the next film blurs the line between reality and nightmare? What if the killer wasn't even real? Number 4, Bad Dreams from 1988. A cult survivor wakes from a 13-year coma, only to be haunted by her dead cult leader in this supernatural horror that was accused of ripping off A Nightmare on Elm Street. Here's the setup. Jennifer Rubin plays Cynthia, the sole survivor of a cult mass suicide. She wakes up after 13 years, joins a therapy group, and then people start dying. Richard Lynch plays Harris, the cult leader who burned himself and his followers alive. And now he's appearing to Cynthia, manipulating her, trying to finish what he started. The death sequences here are genuinely creepy. Is Harris real? Is Cynthia insane? Are the deaths accidents or murder? The movie keeps you guessing. And here's the twist. The therapy group members start dying in increasingly disturbing ways, and Cynthia's losing her grip on reality. Now, critics destroyed this movie for being a Nightmare on Elm Street knockoff. And yeah, there are similarities. Dreamstalker, reality versus nightmare. Jennifer Rubin even starred in Elm Street 3 the same year. But Bad Dreams does something different. It's about cult trauma, survivor's guilt, and the psychology of manipulation. Freddy's a supernatural killer. Harris is a psychological predator who weaponizes faith and guilt. The Elm Street comparison killed it at the box office. Critics dismissed it as a ripoff. Audiences ignored it, and it vanished. But if you watch it today, it holds up. The atmosphere is suffocating. The kills are creative. And Jennifer Rubin's performance is genuinely heartbreaking. Streaming on Amazon Prime? Give it a chance. Alright, we're halfway through. And if you're still watching, drop a skull emoji in the comments right now. Let me know you're still there. Because the next 3 movies, they get even darker. Starting with a slasher that completely subverts the genre. Number 5, The House on Sorority Row from 1982. Don't let the title fool you. This isn't your typical sorority slasher. This is a psychological thriller disguised as exploitation horror. Here's what makes this different. 7 sorority sisters accidentally killed their house mother during a prank gone wrong. Instead of calling the police, they hide the body and throw their graduation party anyway. Then someone, or something, starts killing them one by one during the party. What separates this from other slashers is the guilt. These aren't random victims being hunted by a masked killer. They're complicit. They made a choice, and now they're paying for it. The movie plays with your expectations. You think you know who the killer is. You think you understand the motive. Then the third act hits, and everything changes. The cane weapon became iconic in slasher circles. The twist ending influenced dozens of horror films in the 90s. The feminist subtext about women being punished for independence and sexuality was way ahead of its time. It got lost in the slasher boom. 1982 had Friday the 13th Part 3, Halloween 3, The Slumber Party Massacre. It was smarter than all of them, but it couldn't compete. Horror fans eventually discovered it, and now it's a cult classic, but it deserves so much more. Streaming on Peacock and Tubi, essential slasher viewing. 2 more to go, and these last 2, pure primal terror. No supernatural elements, no dream sequences, just survival instinct versus raw violence in the wilderness. Number 6, Just Before Dawn from 1981. 5 campers venture into the Oregon wilderness and encounter something far more terrifying than they imagined. This is survival horror at its purest. This movie prioritizes atmosphere over gore. It's all about the forest closing in, the isolation, the feeling that you're being watched. The cinematography is gorgeous. These long, sweeping shots of the Oregon mountains. Then you realize something's moving in the background. The killer here isn't supernatural. It's primal, human, but wrong. And the movie takes its time building that dread. The final confrontation is brutal and satisfying. No tricks, no twists, just survival instinct versus raw violence. No major stars, overshadowed by Friday the 13th Part 2. But if you love atmospheric horror that respects your intelligence, this is required viewing. Streaming on Shudder. And now, the final film. Number 7 is the one that haunts me the most. It's not about monsters, it's not about killers, it's about something far more disturbing. It's about what we hide in our basements. Number 7, The Unseen from 1980. A TV news crew investigates a small town and discovers a horrifying secret hidden in a basement. This is claustrophobic terror done right. Barbara Bach plays a reporter who stays in a farmhouse with a dark secret. The owner's keeping his deformed son locked in the basement. The tension here is suffocating. Narrow hallways, locked doors, something moving in the shadows. It's exploitation horror with genuine pathos. The son isn't evil, he's tragic. And the final act is heartbreaking and terrifying in equal measure. Buried by poor marketing, rediscovered by horror historians. Streaming on Tubi. Before we wrap up, 4 more buried gems you need to know about. Evil Speak from 1981. Clint Howard summons demons with a computer. Absolutely bonkers. The Sender from 1982. Psychic hospital patient weaponizes nightmares. Underrated masterpiece. Visiting Hours from 1982. Michael Ironside as a hospital stalker. Legitimately terrifying. X-Ray, also known as Hospital Massacre from 1982. Barbie Benton hunted through a hospital. Pure 80s chaos. So there you have it. 7 absolutely terrifying 80s horror movies that Hollywood buried and forgot. But here's the thing. These aren't just forgotten films. These are the blueprints for every horror film you love today. Home Invasion, Alone in the Dark did it first. Gothic Atmosphere, The Keep perfected it. Psychological Obsession, Night Warning went there before anyone else. These movies were ahead of their time, and now it's your turn to discover them. And here's my challenge for you. If you've already seen any of these 7 films, comment which one and tell me your honest reaction. Did it mess you up? Did it disappoint? I want to know. Because here's what makes these movies special. They took risks. They didn't play it safe. They pushed boundaries that Hollywood was terrified to cross. My personal favorite? Alone in the Dark. The blackout sequence, the psychological warfare, Jack Palance's unhinged performance, it's all burned into my brain. But honestly, all 7 deserve cult classic status. If you've made it this far, you're a true horror fan. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more buried horror gems to come. I'm Wayne, this is Silver Screen Synergy, and remember, the best horror movies are the ones they tried to bury. Now go watch them, if you dare. I'll see you in the next one.